Eartha Kitt is a recording artist, theatre, film and television actress, autobiographer, cabaret performer and back-arching, high-kicking, multilingual octogenarian grandmother. Her recent performance at the Cheltenham Jazz Festival has been viewed as a celebration of her life.
Yeah, my whole life, particularly in the past few years, is a celebration, I think, of life for me, particularly because I've been in the business for over 65 years, and it's because the public has kept me here, so I'm always celebrating how fortunate I have been, because I don't have managers and people who hype everything up. You know, I'm out there all by myself in front of the public.
Eartha started her recording career in a world before rock and roll began. She was heavily influenced by the performers of the day, including Edith Piaf.
La joie pour la vie.
Well, those kind of people are kind of people who know their craft from scratch. I'm a street person myself, not that I was living on the street, but I'm a street person because I learned everything from what was going on around me. And Edith Piaf was that kind of person as well. So what we sing, and particularly now, these days, what I sing, I'm still singing the songs that I feel honest about and I have some feeling for. And the people who are doing that kind of craft, I think, are much more honest with their work than those who are out to make a lot of money. And of course, we all want to make money, but I don't think money should come first. Your craft should come first. And the honesty to the public should come first.
Well, you've recognized her, of course, Eartha Kitt. And to keep her already perfect figure supple and ridding herself of some of the tensions of her profession, she does just that, exercise.
Eartha began her London cabaret career back in Churchill's nightclub in 1951.
It was a place called Churchill's. I got a bunch of letters one day, and on the outside of it was this writing from Churchill, Winston Churchill.
Saying what?
We presume these are for you. My letters, my fan mail was going to...
She enjoys a special affinity with England, which endures to this day. In fact, Eartha has been quoted as saying that she began to be Eartha Kitt in England.
The sense of humor of the British come out of profound thinking. It's a cerebral humor. I don't like humor that's slapstick, except for people like Charlie Chaplin and Red Skelton. It was funny. And even Benny Hill. I love Benny Hill. But I mean, today comedy's gotten very mean and cruel. And the business itself, I think, in many ways has gotten mean and cruel. The films are full of shoot 'em up, bang 'em up, blow 'em up, four-letter words, kick 'em, blood. I don't particularly feel that this is helping our society at all, helping the children become disciplined in any form. So I'm not into throwing words and things at people in order to make myself feel more important. I don't compete with other people, I only compete with me. So when I have a feeling of what is going on today with other artists, all has come big business. And a lot of it is full of hatred, words as well as the action.
The Broadway star was all charm at Mrs. Johnson's White House luncheon to enlist women in the war on crime. That is, until she stood up and shouted at Mrs. Johnson. Later, at a news conference, she made no apology. She repeated her contention that young people are getting in trouble because they are troubled over being snatched off to be shot in Vietnam.
One of the main reasons why there is juvenile delinquency in this country is because our children today are angry. They don't want to go through all of the trouble of having an education and then getting to a point in their lives where they are just about able to start paying back their parents for whatever their parents have put into their lives, and suddenly getting snatched away from them and thrown into a war and getting shot and maybe never returning home.
Born Eartha Mae Keith in South Carolina in 1927, Eartha Kitt was raised by Anna Mae Riley, whom Eartha believed at the time to be her mother. But after Riley's death, Eartha lived with who she now believes to have been her mother, Mamie Kitt. As a child, Eartha Mae endured hardships and abuse, and these formative episodes have resonated throughout her life ever since as Eartha Kitt.
Eartha May is from that world, that complete rejection on both sides of the fence, black, white, no matter what. I was not wanted because I'm not the right color, particularly at that time, to be accepted by the blacks. And the whites didn't know what the hell to do with me, and I'm illegitimate. I'm supposed to be one of the children of the cotton plantation owner's sons. So that was a big thing in those days. You know, the name of the father is not on your birth certificate. But yes, we both worked very close together, because I like Eartha May very much, but she's tremendously shy and tremendously afraid of the rejection that she had when she was a child. And now that she has become Eartha Kitt and has been accepted by people in general, she feels very proud of the fact that she's made it to a successful point of being accepted. But she's still afraid that any minute you may reject her. Eartha May is constantly saying, when do I have to go and hide again? And Eartha Kitt is trying to say everything's going to be okay, when she knows damn well at any minute you're always walking on tenterhooks. The song If You Go Away, for instance, I'm not singing to a man about if you go away. I can always find another man, so to speak, but it's the public I'm singing that song to. What would happen to me if they suddenly decide I wasn't worthwhile anymore?
One of Eartha's traits for which she is most loved is her ability to take established material and reinvent it for herself. Songs such as the anodyne I Will Survive take on a new meaning in her assured grasp.
At first, I was afraid. Then I was petrified. To think that I could live without you by my side. But I'm very glad that I found that song, that I heard it on the radio, I think, or however I heard it. I realized that they're throwing the words away. Whoever is singing it doesn't know or have a feeling for what the words mean, what the story is saying. It's just saying, and think about what the song says. Think about those words. And I like songs that have something to say. They're meaningful. And if they mean something to me, then I can interpret them in my way.
To hurt me with goodbye, but did I crumble? Did I lay down and die? That I will survive.
But it's very difficult to find songs that really are meaningful. Today I'm sure they're out there. I'm constantly looking for what I think in terms of profound songs, humorous as well as drama. What's happening in the industry, it's all big money now they're going after. And if you're not singing the kind of songs that they say that everybody can sing and everybody can understand, the words don't have to mean anything. You can say one line or anything. And if the public accepts that, because that's what they're caring for, where the money is.
On stage, Eartha adopts a wide variety of personas and characters as part of the show. Indeed, once she referred to herself as the original Material Girl. But perhaps her most famous act is that of the seductive gold digger with a feline mystique.
I think it's funny, and of course I use the humor that is there in the song. But when I signed with R.C. Victor, after everyone else said we don't know what to do with her, she's too weird, she doesn't sing like anybody we know, that they could sell records to, for instance, a market that they knew of. They wanted me to be the naughty girl because of the way I look and the way I moved. That's what I was told. I'm a dancer, she's very feline, and she's a very beautiful woman, so give her the naughty songs. And that's all I could do with R.C. Victor. But you know, I don't mind stereotypes, because if it's good for me to be a stereotype, and that's what I am, then fine. Because I can always, outside of the record world, I can always do what I want to do on stage.
And of course, the first thing that I did that started to make kind of a noise, as we say at home, was Sessi Bon and Plant a Baby and Uskadara Girrikin and I Want to Be Evil and whatnot and so forth.
What were you thinking about when you sang I Want to Be Evil?
exactly what it says.
I want to go to the devil. I want to be evil. I want to spit tax. I want to be evil on the cheetah jacks.
I Want to Be Evil is a very mischievous, naughty girl, kind of wanting to be evil, to slap her man's face or her boyfriend's face or whatever, be naughty with her little friend who was a teenager, 13, 14 years old. I want to be evil. I don't think I want to carry it into any other area because it is still a cute naughtiness. Old-fashioned girl is sophisticated naughtiness. So she plays with the man, whereby I Want to Be Evil is playing with a child, so to speak, or the childlikeism in her. And this song, Old-Fashioned Girl, she's playing with a man. And she's adorable. I'm just an old-fashioned girl. I want an old-fashioned house with an old-fashioned fence and an old-fashioned millionaire. You know how some girls want to be so cutesy, and she want to talk to the man like that and talk like a child because she thinks the man likes that. I want an old-fashioned house with an old-fashioned fence and an old-fashioned millionaire. And also with Santa Baby. Santa Baby, slip a little sable under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl. She's cute, but underneath it all, she's a very sophisticated woman that says, I really mean what I'm saying.
Eartha Kitt is a country girl from a farming family. She won her way to the top and is a big success. She can act, too. You'll see her soon in a very dramatic part in a play called The Valiant. In the meantime, she's off to the Café de Paris to rehearse some more of those sexy songs.
But unfortunately, there are no cafes anymore, so to speak, like the way I was educated in this business in cabaret. Yes, I am an indigenous species. The difference between the cabaret that used to be and what is today, we're not singing to each other anymore. We're not speaking to each other anymore. We're not holding a conversation with each other anymore. We're talking at the people, not to the people. So the intimacy of it is all gone, I think. I used to have a conversation with people like Sammy Davis, who, even for small clubs, he used to ask tremendous money. And I said, Sammy, if you ask for that kind of money everywhere across the country, particularly in America, you're going to put us out of business because the cabarets can't afford that. And it's true, the cabarets had to close up because the industry wanted people like that and Frank Sinatra to be in the big arenas because that's where their money was. And therefore, they kept closing up the cabarets because they couldn't find people, as Paul Sullivan, who owned the Plaza Hotel once, and I worked the Persian Room for almost 12 years. That was the room in New York, cafe society, where all of the chic, elite, quote-unquote, people come, because they had money, and they could spend it no matter what, how, and how much. And he used to say to me, Eartha, I cannot find enough artists in the business of your stature, of your caliber, of your artistry, that can hold the people in the palm of their hand for a whole month. And he said, I need at least 10 of them because the room closes 2 months a year. He needs 10. He couldn't find 10. So the cabarets closed up. And I'd like very much, in all honesty, to thank you all, please believe me, for being so faithful to me all these years and for keeping me in the profession that I really love for over 65 years. So thank you.
Although very much at the top of her profession, Eartha, however, has been quoted as saying, Eartha Kitt is my act, and I am still learning from her.
I'm still learning. I'm also learning from Eartha May. Because even though Eartha May feels tremendously rejected sometimes, because you never know when somebody's going to make a phrase that will hurt you, and you don't know, you don't expect that phrase to hurt you, but the child that has been abused and accused all the time when she was a child, all of a sudden that wound opens up, and I have to analyze the fact that that's not meant to hurt me. So Eartha Kitt has to take over from that hurt and use it as a part of her creative ability. I always feel I have to earn every step of the way. I don't expect people to just come to me and say, "Oh, you poor child," when I'm hurting. I don't hurt like I did when I was a child. And I've got my daughter too, who sort of helps me keep my rein. She pulls the reins on me sometimes and helps me realize that that was not hurting you, Mommy. It was hurting the child in you, and you have to sort of get over that. But yes, I'm always thinking in terms of making myself realize that every step of the way, and I do realize it, I don't have to make myself do that. Every step of the way has got to be earned, no matter how popular you are, no matter how great you are. You have to constantly be aware of every step might be your last.
In this, her 7th decade of a varied career, Eartha is not showing any signs of retiring and still continues to put on a show as only she can.
I want to keep working because I wouldn't know what to do with myself if I wasn't working. Or doing something that is creative or something that makes me feel I'm wanted, I'm worthwhile. I don't want to be a burden on anybody. I enjoy myself now more, I think, than I ever have before, because I realize how important it is to take care of yourself and be responsible for you. So even though that song, the last song that Darryl wrote for me, says, "I'm standing here alone," I know I'm not standing here alone. Look at all of those people out there.